Hi guys, my name's Aaron and I'm making a tactics game. And this is a different video than I normally do. See, every time I make a video, all of the work I do is always done. It's already been done, and I kind of just talk about, what I've done and how I've done it. But I never showed a journey of how that happens, and I've always been curious what those type of videos would be like and how I would make one, and which is why this video is almost an hour long. So basically, what I've done is I just pressed record and kind of recorded myself doing a small feature. And I picked something fairly easy and dull, which is an input system, because it's, strangely enough, it's been the biggest complaint that I've gotten around the asset pack that I make in Tactics Toolkit, is that the controls just don't make sense and they aren't good enough, which isn't something I ever cared about, because it wasn't the point of the asset pack, right? But I've had enough complaints that I changed that, and I did it all from scratch, and I showed everything, with me talking, and then some kind of fast forwarded bits with some music behind it. But I still show it just in case. So yeah, this is a weird video. I almost wasn't even going to post it, but the guys at Discord encouraged me. They thought it was a good idea. So check out the Discord, by the way, if you want. But yeah, give me some feedback, because this is a weird video, and yeah, I don't know how it's gonna go over. But anyway, I'm just gonna leave it at that, and let's pass on, walk away. So let me just show you what I have right now. So if you haven't seen the project before, this here is basically a little scene I created for demonstrating my basic attacks, where we spawn a dude in, and then we can move him over. We can press the attack button, and I can press E and Q to switch my targets, and the targets are glowing red like this. And then to finish my attack, I can press the space button. Okay, and I say that in the text here of how to control it, and that's basically it. There's nothing you can't use your mouse to control the attack, and you can't change these bindings either. They're hard-coded bindings. But the problem is that what's been happening is I kind of created this with the intention that people would go along kind of the scenes one by one. So these are all like demo scenes explaining different features, and then there's the final scene that kind of has it all together. But sometimes people would just come straight here, and then, they try to use an ability or an attack, and it doesn't work, right? They're like, they're using ability, they'll prick around, and then wrong ability. They'll use an ability, and it's like, and I'm clicking, and how do I use the ability without knowing straight away, right? So the plan for this feature is, one, we got to change it. So I just found a bug live while I was trying to explain that to you. For some reason, our dude is stuck and he won't make a move. So that's great. Anyway, though, so the plan for this feature is basically what I need to do is I need to create a way to make these controls here configurable, and being able to use the mouse to do everything with the mouse. So by the end of this video, I plan on having this project fully supported by keyboard, mouse, and a gamepad as well. And my idea is that we're going to have a input controller that will basically let out these events, and then our other controllers will just be listening for those events, right? So the input controller will tell us that the action button has been pressed, whatever that is, whatever the user has configured that to be, and all the listeners will be listening for that action button. And if the move controller is expecting to move and the action button is pressed, we'll start moving. If the battle controller is expecting an attack command, we do the attack on the action button event, that type of thing. So let's jump into it. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an input controller, and basically work on getting all of the keyboard actions coming from here instead, and remove them from the other controllers. So here's basically an example of what I was talking about with the input controller. So what I've done is I have a bunch of key codes for the types of buttons that I wanted to have. So this is going to be for the key code, for the keyboard, and then I have just two events. So I got the action button pressed event, and then the movement button pressed event. And what I've done here is we've got a bunch of ifs to say that if this key, one of these keys is down, we'll do its corresponding event. And instead of having 4 different events, I just have one event. I'm going to send an int with it to determine what direction we go in. So now I just got to hook this up to one of our other controllers to see how it goes. Now, one thing that and let's just get started with the keyboard before I worry about anything else, I guess. One thing I'm a little bit worried about is that within my mouse controller, hold the focused on tile logic, and and basically whenever I mouse over a new tile, it'll raise this focused on tile event, and that lets all the other systems know which tile we're focused on. But now I'm going to be able to focus on a new tile using my keyboard. So I need to move this code somewhere. So that's something I have to think about as well. Right, so in the end, what I've done is I've actually changed the input controller to, rather than raise a move button clicked event, I'm updating the active tile based on the button I press. All right, so I press, up, I get the grid location of what up is, and then I just update the focused on tile, and that will tell all of the other systems that we've changed the tile. Okay, and I've also done that in the mouse controller as well. So the mouse controller now is able to be we're now updating that the mouse controller has a focused on tile. And then over in here, I have added them to my focused on tile object listener. So if you're new here, by the way, because I'm rattling off here, but if you're new, this whole project is done using this event system. So all my systems, all my controllers are basically listening for these events, and also they're raising events, right? So let me think. For example, my tone-based controller here has this set new active character event that gets raised every time a new tone happens. And then I got my new active character, and then there's like 3 different controllers that are waiting to listen for a new active character, and they will do something based on that. Right, so let's press play and do my first live test. All right, so the mouse controller still works, and if I press up, nothing happens. Of course nothing happens. Oh, okay, so what's happening is that my mouse position is still causing it to change, I think. No. Oh, okay. One of them is walking in the wrong direction. It seems like my left button is walking in the wrong direction. Okay. Check back in a minute. Aha! There we go. So classic case of if statements not being flipped correctly. But yeah, there we go. We're moving around. I still need to. My mouse is overriding it, so I need to fix that real quick. Yeah, and there you go. So I can now move with. Right. So all I've done is add a check for an old mouse position. So in my fixed update, I'm basically checking if the new mouse position equals the old mouse position. Then we do all of our mouse stuff, and we update the old mouse position at the bottom as well. And actually, hang on, I'm updating it in the wrong place. Am I? No, yeah, I'm updating it in the wrong place. But let's see how it goes. So I'll head on over to scene. So let me mouse over tile, and then I'll move around. And yeah, it's working. Nice. Now if I move the mouse, it works. Sweet. Fantastic. I see I'm getting a wee key not found exception with my dictionary, and I think I know what that is real quick. So that is probably where I am getting the bounds. This is incorrect. This probably should be like this. Not equals, just like that. Right, and there we have it. No more error getting thrown. For some reason though, my X, min, and max are offset. So I still needed to do a greater than or equal to on this one, and I need to do a -1 on this one to get it to work. And I'm not sure why. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, right now it's probably about 9 o'clock at night, and I'm kind of out of time for my walk today. So I'm gonna leave it at this, and then hopefully get back into this tomorrow. This obviously isn't done yet. We still have to get it to. It's not working with the preview tiles, but yeah, bunch of stuff to get done. See you tomorrow. This might be a good little break point just to kind of fill you in onto why I'm actually using the old input system. So if you don't know, there's 2 Unity input systems. There's one they call the old system and one they called the new system. And I don't particularly have an opinion on which one's better than the other, but the reason I am going with the old system is that the new one requires some kind of project settings that you might need to change, and I don't want someone to download my pack and their project just suddenly break because they need to change some settings in the project settings. And that's pretty much it. At the end of the day, this is all supposed to be an example for someone to use. So, you should be making your own controls at the end of the day anyway. So if you wanted to use the new system, go on ahead. Like, I recommend it. I actually think now that I've done it, the new system is definitely better for controllers. Like if you wanted controller gamepad support, I think the new system is better for that. But yeah, it's kind of all the same thing. All right, another day, another dollar. So the goal for today is, as I probably just said 2 seconds ago, is get the preview working for our character. And I think by the end of today, really what I want to do is I want to be able to attack one of these dudes only using my mouse. So that's the plan. I think I'll probably need to still click this. I need to figure out how am I going to initiate. I'll have to consider that. But yeah, we're gonna attack. This guy's getting it. He's getting it. So I see the problem already. The focused on tile for the character spawner is being set through the mouse controller, which goes against kind of the design pattern that this project works off. So I'm just going to go ahead and just get rid of that. Then open my controller. All I need to do is go to my focused on tile. I'll expand this, drag my character spawner into there, and then set active tile. Beautiful. And now, if I move around, boom. All right. All right, so as a starting point for setting up the space button here to do actions, I've gone ahead and hooked up. I've refactored my character spawner to now, instead of using the update method, we'll use this action button press method. And I'm kind of combining the old logic between the set active tile and it. So let's have we press play and let's see if it works. So when I great, this is great recording when I press play for the first time. 1 second. Okay, so new issue is that I basically need to set an active tile before I start. So if I just press play and I try to move, I get a null exception because there is no active tile on my input manager. So simple fix though. So basically in my awake function, all I had to do was use a method that I already had that existed, which gets me an overlay tile based on a transform. And that transform is the kind of position of this square. And then we set the focus on tile. So if I press play now, and I don't mouse over, oh, it still doesn't work. So basically the reason why that wasn't working was because of where my mouse was actually positioned. This was set to 12 for some reason instead of 2. Causing it to, well, even that's working now, so I guess it was just a weird positioning thing. But right, I'm gonna press space and it should spawn my guy. He spawned. Woo! We are now spawning our characters. Fuck yeah, dude. Alright, set up the movement. So let's go spawn our guys in. And now I've done, so Q should enter movement mode. It doesn't. God damn it! Oh. Do you know what it was? Last night I was helping someone with a bug and I was kind of replicating one for them. And it was because the event system was closed. So that might be it. Oh, I've removed the click. I gotta fix that. Right, so no, I can still click. I can. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I had forgotten to actually add the div statement to the update or to get the key press. I'm already starting to not like this this file. This update really annoys me. So I think now, I don't know what to do. I don't know what the better way to do this. I think for now I'm going to just extract that method and say this is movement action, just to make it a bit more readability. Extract. I don't know what you call this. You call this what? Game actions? Yes, naming. Right, so spawn our characters in, we get a null straight away, but I think it's okay. Gonna press Q. It works. And now I press, I think, space. No. What was it? So Q. Space. That says action button pressed. Oh, I forgot to set the event. In Q. Oh shit. Skip. Ow, the end walks, end tone walks as well. Nice. Alright, so Q, up, space, yes! Yes! Gotcha. Attack. The enter in the attack mode works. And space swapped. Oh. Okay, I'm disabling the button, and I thought that was good enough, but obviously now just disabling the button is not good enough for moving our character around. So that's something we have to fix. We have to improve the disabled actions event. So I managed to fix that issue, and now next is the battle controller. So within the battle controller, we can switch the targeted character from E and Q. That's going to change to just targeted character would be if it's the focused on tile, and then we attack with space. There's a cancel as well, which I need to address as well. Alright, so I think I have this. Alright, I think I have this figured out. So I spawn my characters in. I'm going to press Q to go into movement mode, space to move. I'm going to press E to enter attack mode, which will show my attack range. And if I mouse over a character, they'll be set to be targeted. And if I mouse away, they're not targeted anymore. Right, and I'm going to remove the space command from the update. I'm going to go into the game. Go, Q, move, E, attack mode, mouse over, and if I press space, because I just keep forgetting to update my listeners. I'm constantly forgetting to update my listeners. Action button pressed. Right. And I just remembered as well, I promised to start to say that this fucker was going to get it. So he's going to get it. Mouse over him, press space, boom! And it worked, but the display range is still enabled, so I gotta clear that. I think that might be it. So one more check. Q, move, E, space. Didn't clear again. Wow. Q again. I can't attack one once. Why isn't it getting cleared? Why is it not getting cleared? Reset attack mode. No, attack, you bastard. And cleared. Excellent. Can I attack again? We will see. You did nothing. Excellent. One thing though, it has not disabled this button. So maybe I'll have to do something about that as well. But it's that time of the night again. It's about 9 o'clock, so I think I'm actually going to leave it there for tonight. I have a few bugs to fix, it seems like, just a few null checks to add around if I press a button at the wrong time. But other than that, pretty happy with the progress. We can move our characters around, we can attack, and we can end on. That's pretty decent progress. Tomorrow, I should be able to finish keyboard controls completely and probably move on to maybe Gamepad, because I think that would be the easier one to do. The mouse is going to have to be its own system altogether. So that's my top process at the minute. Yeah, let's see how it goes. All right, back for day 3. I'm aware that even though days pass for me, no time has passed for you guys. So I'm probably gonna need some kind of segue in between days, or I just pretend that no time has passed and I do all this work in one day because I'm great. But anyway, I've been thinking throughout the day, and I think I'll actually do the mouse controller first instead of the gamepad, because I think the way I have everything set up, it actually be quite easy to do. So I'm gonna give that a go. So the idea is that the mouse will be able to click and do all of the things with the click button. So when every time I click, I don't click on a UI component, it's going to be an action button click, the same way as what I did with the space button. And I will still enter all of the modes using the UI like I was doing before. So that is the plan about that, and let's see how it goes. So already pretty good progress made. All I've done is literally what I said. If you want to check that your mouse is not over UI, I found this little if statement here. So basically this will tell us that we are not over a button, right? Because we don't want to be triggering the events while we're clicking on the button, because the buttons trigger events as well, and you can cause loads of issues. So if left click and we're not over UI, we're going to raise the event. And then that is mostly working already straight away. So now this was broken, but now if I click on a tile, my guy will spawn, and I can click on move and my guy will move. There is a few issues with the attack still. So if I click on attack, if I mouse over the attack, it shows me the range, which has always been the case, and I click it, but because I've moused away from it, I guess I've triggered the clear event. And also I'm not checking the range of the attack as well, so I can attack this guy even though he's not in my range. And then there's a bunch of issues with the disabled as well. But other than that, the end works as well. But other than that, that's actually really sweet. So this shouldn't take too long at all. Okay, mouse is done, I think. So I move, I enter attack mode, and I can mouse over these two dudes and cannot mouse over this one. So I can't click to attack. I can click on one of these, boop, and I have an issue with the disabled state happening here. I can't attack more than once. It doesn't let me. It's smart enough to do that at least, but it does kind of enable itself, which is annoying. And really, the only code I needed was I needed to hide the attack range from the battle controller. So I can check if we're in attack mode or not. If we're not in attack mode, if we are in attack mode, we don't want to hide the tiles, basically. And to get the mouse to work, all we really needed was the action button event to be raised. Because of all the work we did in the previous step, this did 90% of the work for us, which is like really cool. And just another example of me sucking off this fucking event system. But yeah, sweet. Now I'm tempted to switch over to the ability scene and get it all working with with casting abilities, because that's not set up yet. This is only for basic attacks. So ability still has to be done, and also my cancel event isn't being set up correctly. So let's do the cancel event. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I've been dealing with what is wrong with this, why it's not working for ages, and it's because I've left the key check in the update. Ugh. Let's just get rid of that. So now if I want, I should be able to move in here, press attack. Who do I want to attack? None of them. And press escape. I'll hit a breakpoint over here. Nice. Movement was definitely easier. It looks like I press movement. I press escape. The button enabled and disabled correctly. Yeah, looks good. And all I had to do for that was basically the same thing as before. So I just had to listen out for our cancel button that we've already set up. And yeah, then do what the stuff I need to do to cancel it. This cancel action event, I probably need to rename it. This basically handles the UI enabling and disabling itself, which I think might be causing some issues. It's not the most reliable setup, so I don't know. I need to consider that a little bit, I think. Right, and that's bit done. So that is basically I can do everything on this scene with my keyboard, with only my keyboard or only my mouse. The only thing I can't do with my mouse is cancel an event, and I think that's okay. You know, I don't really want to have adding a cancel button here just for the sake of having it. So I think just having a cancel on the escape key is good enough for me. But yeah, I'm probably gonna call it there for tonight, and then tomorrow I'll get the gamepad set up, because I've never played with gamepads before, so I've never set up a gamepad controls before, so there might be a bit of learning in that, but we'll see how difficult it is.
Alright guys, sorry for the sudden drop in audio quality. I have my controller plugged in at the minute, and I'm out of USB slots. My desktop mic is not plugged in, so that's why you're listening to this crappy mic. But so it's actually been a few days since the last couple of seconds. A few days have passed, and I have been trying a couple of things with controller inputs, and I've been playing with the old system and the new system, trying to get it working as best as I can. And I've kind of come to this conclusion that there's no way to nicely do it without messing with kind of project settings. And you know, because this is an asset pack, I don't want to be forcing people to change their project settings to get this to work. I want it all to just work seamlessly. So I'm quite limited on what I can do. Now, what I have done is I didn't want to force someone to use the new input system if they want, because if you set up the new input system, it actually disables the old system. So you know, if I added that to this asset pack, they could download the package and it would just break their project if they were using the old system. So that's annoying. But what I have done here is because I didn't know how to actually these are the key codes for gamepad buttons, and I didn't know what was what. So I wrote a little script to read all of the options and tell me if they're down or up. So with this, what I've been able to do is I can press play here, and I can press buttons. You can see on the console there, it tells me what button I'm pressing. So all I need is one action button. So all I need is A. So if I press A, let me just move you up a little bit so you can actually see the console correctly. So I press A, I can see that, at least for my controller, I gotta be messed up with this, I think. At least for my controller, joystick button 1 is A. So I'm going to use that as my key code, and then I have it reading the right joystick correctly, or the left joystick, sorry, not the right one. But I could not get it to read the D-pad, and all the tutorials say I have to go into the project settings to fix that. So if I go into project settings, there's this input manager, and I can basically set up something like this, like D-pad X, and I can set it to X-axis, and I can mess with all these settings, and I'll get it to work doing that. But I don't want to do that, and I don't think there's one here that does that for me automatically. I mean, I guess I would assume this does it. This seems like the same thing to me, but no, it's not a joystick axis. That's the difference. Okay, never mind. Here's a joystick axis, but this doesn't work. I don't know why. Anyway, it's not important, but yeah. So I don't know. I can't get the D-pad working. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the controller setup working, but it's only going to be using the right stick and one button. So it's not going to be great. It's not going to be that useful to people, but at least it'll be there as a starting point if somebody wants it. I don't know. It doesn't feel too useful to me, to be honest, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Alright, so still on the shitty mic. I'm here with my controller. I have basically done everything I've done for the input controller. I've done it again for the gamepad input controller. I've just copied the same approach. And yeah, I can move around with my joystick, like I said. It doesn't feel great. I'll show you what I'm doing for this now in a second, but I might have to play with this a bit more. But you know what? Yeah, I can press the buttons. It's getting to the stage now as well that because I have these different types of inputs, I'm forgetting what buttons to press, and I've done the work. So someone else coming into it isn't going to remember what the buttons are if I can't remember what the buttons are. And you can see it doesn't feel great. Like when I'm moving around here with these, I'm doing it too fast, so the part can't keep up. The part is like disappearing and flickering, which doesn't feel good. So I'll have to, I think from a static perspective, this definitely needs some work. And another thing I'm thinking about as well is that what way is up and down on these types of games? This is up and this is down for me, but I think some games might do this is up and this is down. So I don't know. It's one of those things I haven't really been able to figure out, but I'm keeping it this way because I think that's normal. But anyway, I can move them forward. I can enter movement mode. Oh no, I just moved. So that if I can enter attack mode, and I can hover my guys. And again, there's a weird flicker. I guess because maybe I'm just moving over them too fast. I'm not sure what's going on, but I can attack, and I can end turn, and then go to the next thing. So ultimately, I'm pretty much done. As I have an example of everything now, using controller, mouse, and keyboard. But there's a few things I have issues with. So, for example, entering an attack mode and movement mode are all on their own button. When realistically, it all should be controlled within this button here. Like the action button should do everything. You know, maybe if I mouse over an enemy or if I target an enemy and do attack mode, it should enter attack mode. No, if I target an enemy and then press the action button, it should just go into attack mode. And if I target maybe myself and press the move button, it should go into move button. If I target myself and press the action button, it should go into move mode. So I don't know. It's tricky. It's tricky because this is supposed to be an example, and I'm in that kind of situation where I don't know how deep I should be going into this. So I need to consider it. And yeah, so for the movement, I am checking the vertical and horizontal inputs. I locked it in at 1 instead of like giving it any kind of padding, just because it was flickering too much. So just you got to go fully up to make it move. And then I've stuck the update onto a coroutine, so I can stick a very small weight on this. Without a weight, I can show you an example. Without a weight, it gets pretty wild. Oh, hang on. That's not how you do it. I gotta just make this here. So without a weight, this is what it looks like, and yeah, it's not really usable. But yeah, so I have to basically add this to all of my other scenes now, and I have to add in one extra button for abilities. I don't have an ability option set up yet, but I have kind of earmarked what button that's going to be for, so it's not an issue. But yeah, I think that is probably where I'm going to leave this input system, to be honest. Yeah, this is a weird video.
And that's it. And if anybody is watching it at this point, thank you. You're a trooper. I don't know how you got through that whole video, but thank you very much. I don't have much to add to it, really. Links below for stuff you need. Tactics Toolkit if you're interested. and the Discord, which is growing over 50 members now, which is huge. So that's awesome. Yeah, join in and give me some feedback on this video if you have any at all. If you think I should do more like this or just keep with the normal devlogs, because yeah. Anyway, see you. Cheers.